Once there was Bundar Bahadur Poon. Bundar Bahadur Poon. He lived with his mother. His father had died in a rockfall. He lived with his 7 uncles and his 7 aunts. But they did not want Bundar near them, for Bundar was a mischief maker. When his uncles were not looking, he would take their tools and hide them. When they were eating, he would take the sweetest food from their plates without them seeing. He was a trickster. They became angry. "We want nothing to do with you, Bundar." The thing about Bundar Bahadur Poon, he was different from other boys. How was he different? Bundar was a monkey. Really, he was a monkey. One day, his uncles went into the forest in the mountains to go hunting. They took their hunting spears. "Bundar cannot come with us." They walked into the forest and began hunting, but secretly Bundar swung through the trees, following his uncles. He wanted to hunt as well. After a long time hunting, the uncles had caught nothing. They were tired. They saw a tall tree, and high in the tree was delicious fruit. Mangoes, sweet and juicy. "Oh, the mangoes are so high," said the 7 uncles. "I wish Bundar was here. He could climb the tree and get the sweet fruit." "Uncles, here I am," cried Bundar. "I will get the fruit." And he went to the tree and the uncles waited. But Bundar took the sweet fruit and he ate it himself. And he took the hard, green mangoes and he threw them at his uncles, and they hit the uncles on the head. "Oh, Bundar, away with you, back to your mother." And Bundar went swinging through the trees away. Secretly, he turned and followed his uncles silently. The uncles continued to hunt. Still, they caught nothing. It was getting dark. The sky was full of black clouds. Soon it will rain. Oh, we are lost. If only Bundar was here. He could climb to the top of the tallest tree and see where we should go. "Uncles, I am here. I will climb to the top of the tallest tree." And Bundar climbed to the top of the tallest tree at the top of the canopy, and he looked out over the trees to the high mountains. "Uncles, I can see a house with a light." "Show us the way, Bundar." And he began swinging through the trees, and now the uncles were following Bundar. But it began to rain. A rain so heavy, heavier and heavier. Help me. Oh, the uncles were getting wet. The journey was long. Soon a storm began. Oh! Where is this place in the mountains? Follow me, uncles! And higher until he came out of the forest. And there was one tall tree. And beside the tree was a house, a strange house. And there Bundar stopped. The uncles were so wet. They came to the door of the strange house and knocked, and the door opened. And there stood a beautiful woman with long black hair. She was so beautiful. "What do you want?" What a voice. "We are hungry," said the uncles. "We are cold from the rain. Please bring us into your house. Give us food. Let us sleep here tonight." "Ah, come in. There are 7 of you. I have 7 daughters. You may marry my daughters." Well, they thought, the uncles, we have left our wives behind. if her daughters are as beautiful as her. And they went into the house. Now Bundar was suspicious. She is strange, this woman, her voice. I think she may be dangerous. They saw the 7 beautiful daughters, and the uncles were attracted to them. The woman made on her fire dal bhat, delicious lentils and spices and rice. And when she had cooked it, she shared it with the 7 uncles, and they ate. And she gave them all glasses of rice wine, and they drank the rice wine, and it was strong and good. And soon the uncles were sleeping, and they stretched. And the daughters watched as the uncles fell asleep, the beautiful daughters with the silver jewellery round their throats. And when they were asleep, the 7 daughters, they put red blankets over the uncles. And then they slept. And the woman, the mother, she put white blankets over her daughters where they lay on the floor. Bundar, he had nowhere to sleep. Bundar climbed into the roof and found a basket, and there he rested. But who was this strange woman? Bundar did not fall asleep. He watched her in her bed. She got out of her bed and picked up a kukuri, a long, sharp knife, and she crept towards the sleeping uncles. She is going to kill my uncles. She came past the basket where Bundar was sleeping. Are you sleeping? Yes. You are not sleeping. Why do you not sleep? I am still hungry, said the monkey, Bundar. I want some more dal bhat. The woman, she was no woman. She was an ogress, an eater of human flesh. She went and she made more dal bhat just for Bundar, and he ate it. And then he was back in his basket and she was back in the bed. And Bundar, he still waited. Finally, she got out of bed and she picked up her long kukuri, and she came towards the sleeping uncles. She came past the basket and she asked, "Are you sleeping?" "Yes." "You are not sleeping. Why do you not sleep?" I am thirsty. Bring me some milk." And she went to the fire, and there she heated some yak milk. And when the milk was hot, she gave it to Bundar, who drank the milk down, and it was good. And he got back into his basket, and she lay in her bed. Bundar would not sleep, and he watched the ogress. Finally, she got out of her bed, she picked up her kukuri, she crept towards the sleeping uncles. She asked, "Are you sleeping?" "Yes." "Oh, why do you not sleep?" "I am still hungry," said Bundar. "Bring me some popcorn." Popcorn? She took some kernels of corn and put them on the fire, and soon they popped. And when the popcorn was ready, she gave it to Bundar, who ate it greedily. And when it was all gone, she got back into her bed. Now the night was passing. The night was long, but was almost over. Bundar did not allow himself to sleep. Although he was tired, he waited. And then finally, he heard from the ogress's bed the terrible snoring. She was asleep. Bundar climbed out of the basket. He went to his 7 uncles. Uncles, uncles, wake up. You are in great danger. She is a monster. She is an ogress. She will kill you. She will eat you. Quick, my uncles, out of the house. Quickly they ran out of the house and they climbed into the high tree. Bundar came back into the house. He picked up a red blanket and he put the red blanket over the white blanket of the first daughter. He picked up another red blanket and put it over the second, and another, until all 7 sisters were covered in red blankets. And now Bundar went out of the house and climbed into the tree with his uncles. Be quiet, be quiet. Finally, the monster, the ogress, woke from her sleep. She climbed out of her bed. She picked up a sharp knife. I am hungry. She came past the basket. Are you sleeping? She crept close. 7 red blankets. Hack, 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 hack. And she began to drink the blood and eat the flesh. Oh, it's so sweet. Sweeter than I imagined the flesh of a hunter. I am full. The rest I will give to my daughters. Daughters? Daughters? Where are you? And then she knew. She had murdered her own daughters. And in a great rage and grief, she ran out of the house. She ran out of the house and screamed, and the mountain shook. And up in the trees, the uncles were afraid. A jaybird flew out of the tree and cried, "Birds of the forest, fly away. The monster, the ogress, will catch us all." And the birds flew away, but the uncles could not. She came to the tree where the uncles were crying with fear. She took her long, sharp cookery knife and she hacked at the tree. And the tree began to lean and the tree began to fall. But Bundar, he twisted in the tree and the tree fell, and on top of the ogress was crushed flat. Quick, uncles, quick, into the house. The uncles ran into the house, and there they found the silver that had been around the throats of the 7 sisters. And they picked up all the silver, and they ran, and Bundar showed them away. Bundar took a drum that he found inside the house. Through the trees they came, Bundar leading them. Now in the morning they reached the village. And the aunts were happy. Our husbands have brought us silver. But Bundar's mother said, "Bundar, I thought you were clever. You have just brought a drum." "But mother, look." From the drum there fell a pile of gold. Bundar. "Mother, for the rest of our lives, do you want to eat corn or do you want to eat rice?" "Rice," said his mother. "Then, mother, tomorrow I will go to the market with my brothers and I will buy rice grain so we can have a crop of rice. The next morning, Bundar went to his uncles. "You cannot come with us." "Why not?" "You threw hard green mangoes at us." "But I saved your lives." "Ah, away, Bundar." But Bundar followed silently, swinging through the trees until they came to the marketplace, and there the uncles exchanged the silver for rice grain. They bought all of the rice grain in the market. Bundar, with his gold, could buy no rice. He gave all the gold, and all he got were gourd seeds. You know a gourd? It just grows into a hollow shape. Nothing to eat. And when his mother saw the gourd seeds, she was angry. She took them and she threw them outside the house. "Bundar, you have wasted the gold." Bundar, he stayed, not working, just playing his tricks, taking his uncle's tools when they would not looking. But the uncles worked hard. They planted the rice on the side of the mountain. Every day they worked while the rice was growing. And after a long time, when the rice had grown and was ready to harvest, the night before the harvest, Bundar, he crept out of the house and he picked the gourds that had grown large and round and hollow, and he opened the gourds. And he went to the rice field. And there in the rice field, as a monkey, Bundar, so clever, he caught a big rat. "Rat, I will kill you unless you help me. You must pick all of the rice from the field and fill my gourds, and then I will spare your life." Through the night, the rat found all its fellow rats, its brothers and sisters and uncles and aunts and cousins, and all of the rats of the mountain. They picked the rice and filled the gourds. And in the morning, the uncles went to work. They found that all the rice had been taken. "Oh, we have nothing for all our hard work." "Uncles, uncles," said Bundar, "come, look, here is your rice in my gourds." The uncles could not believe their eyes. "Bundar, you have done all of the work?" "Oh, Bundar, good boy." His uncles and his aunts were happy. His mother was proud. Never again did his uncles refuse Bundar. Now they invited him to come hunting with them. He was no longer a boy. He was no longer a monkey. Bundar Bahadur Poon, a man, a hunter.